Hello everyone and welcome to today's Subway slash LIRR update for Friday, January 26th, 2018. And there's a lot to talk about. We're going to talk about particularly what happened today at the 21st Street Queensbridge station earlier this morning. And thankfully this didn't impact any service. That's the main thing. But the bad news is a 28-year-old woman was wounded. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about, again, problems. A few problems in Manhattan today that I was able to come up with. And then, of course, a big headache with the Long Island Railroad. So, if you're wondering how I'm recording this, I'm using my Samsung Galaxy S3, number one. And two, I found an app that actually works and records in 60 frames per second. That's pretty impressive if you ask me. Okay, so let's read what we got. So, earlier this morning, a woman was shot coming out of the 21st Street Queensbridge station, and she was the unintended target of the gunfire. The 28-year-old victim was shot in the stomach in the intersection of 41st Avenue and 10th Street in Long Island City around 7 o'clock earlier this morning. She had just exited the nearby 21st Street Queensbridge F train station when she was shot. So if you know the F line like I do, you know that 21st Street Queensbridge is the first official F train stop in Queens and the last one you go to until you get to Roosevelt Avenue going westbound. So let's continue reading. Local police in the area say a 19-year-old woman and the gunman were arguing in the area around the housing project, where the man pulled out a gun and fired a shot at the 19-year-old, but instead hit the other woman. The victim was taken to nearby Elmhurst Hospital in stable condition. Officials have identified the suspect as 23-year-old Snooze Brown, and that sounds like a cartoon character. They said he appeared to be waiting at the entrance of the subway station for his victims to emerge. Anybody with information leading to the arrest of Snooze Brown can call NYPD Crime Stoppers, which is 1-800-577-8477. So if you have any information, the police would like for you to give him a call, or if it's something serious where you think he might be taking out a gun again, you are also encouraged to dial 911 if you do see him. Which, again, I don't know why they don't list calling 911. I mean, this is a wanted felon. Wouldn't you rather call 911 to report him than... Ugh. Horrible reporting. Horrible reporting, but... At least the good news is that this did not affect any F train service during the morning commute because that's the good news. This did not impact any rush hour F express trains to and from Manhattan and Queens. So that did not close that tunnel down, thankfully, because then that would have been a problem, but... yeah, thankfully no NYPD investigation. I double-checked the feed, of course. Alright, so here's our first issue of the day today. That is northbound 4 and 5 trains running local from 14th Street to 42nd Street Grand Central because of a train with mechanical problems at that station. So this was happening the same time the incident was going on at 21st Street Queensbridge. And then we had another problem with the NR&W train because a train had mechanical problems at 34th Street Herald Square. And unfortunately, it's been rough on the 6th Avenue line. I understand how tough it can be taking the B, D, F, and M, but also the R does stop at Herald Square, so this didn't impact B, D, F, and M service at all on 6th Avenue this morning. check anything else. Again, I'm just reading it from earlier this morning, so I have to be caught up on this. Ooh. This was interesting. No R train service between City Hall and J Street Metrotech in both directions. R trains had to run along the Q line between Canal Street and the Cab Avenue in both directions because of an NYPD investigation at the J Street Metrotech station. And then this was interesting. A&C had problems in Brooklyn from J Street to West 4th because of a train with mechanical problems at High Street. And they had to give... this is what I like about the MTA, is that Long Island Railroad doesn't communicate like this. How come New York City Subway communicates better with their customers? You know, I gotta admit, they handle it better than Long Island Railroad does. And this is what me and Matt Camper agree on, is that Long Island Railroad should be following these examples. Ooh boy. 1 o'clock this afternoon, we had E-trains running with delays because of signal problems at 7th Avenue and 53rd Street. That's pretty much it. I mean, I haven't seen any big problems that much, except this one. B&D had problems because this is the second time today. 2 times this happened. So, we had NR and W train and B&D train problems today, all because of mechanical problems at 34th Street, Herald Square. MTA, you're really gonna get your game up over there. Because it's just proof that Byford has his work cut out for him. Really does. Oh, this was breaking in the last hour. Southbound 6 trains are running with delays because of a person struck by the train at Brook Avenue. Whoa, everyone. Let's pump the brakes here, because that's what Doo-Hop says. One of my other YouTubers I follow closely. So let me get this straight. The news didn't even report on... The local news didn't report on this. This was a story. Someone actually got struck by a train in the Bronx. In Mount Haven today. My goodness. Where is Eyewitness News when you need them? Am I going to be the only one that actually reports on this story? My goodness. And the 6 does run along the Pelham line of the IRT, so there's that. So the last update I got was that some southbound 5 trains had to run local from 125th Street to Brooklyn Bridge City Hall. And some northbound 6 trains had to end at 3rd Avenue, 138th Street in Mount Haven. That was not good. I really hope the media will pay attention to this. They had to have northbound 6 stop along the 4 line from 125th Street and end at 149th Street Grand Concourse. So, a very big problem in the Bronx today that the news refused to cover. My goodness. And then look at this. No 6 train service in the last 25 minutes. Let me pull up the accurate tweet. So I'm recording this at 5:15 tonight. No 6 train service between 125th Street and Hunters Point Avenue because of the person getting struck by the train in Mount Haven at Brook Avenue. So, the latest update that I have here from 5:40 is that southbound 6 trains were running express from Hunters Point Avenue to 3rd Avenue, 138th Street. Northbound 6s were running local from 3rd Avenue, 138th Street to Hunters Point Avenue or Parkchester. And all because of the person getting struck by the train at the Brook Avenue station in Mott Haven. So, that's the update for the subways I have for today. Now we're going to talk about the Long Island Railroad. Now we're on the Long Island Railroad feed, and let's start off with this morning. So the main line had problems yet again. The 8:31 train from Ronkonkoma due Penn at 10 o'clock, almost 10 o'clock, was canceled due to equipment trouble. Customers had to be accommodated by the 9:15 train from Ronkonkoma due into Penn at 10:37 and then transferred to Hicksville for service to Westbury, Merlawn Avenue, and New Hyde Park. I feel bad for those people who had to transfer at Hicksville, because they still have that work over there trying to improve the waiting room at the terminal on the platform. Now this is interesting. Babylon had problems today. Yes, Matt was talking about it earlier on his Periscope. So let's read this. The 11:05 train from Penn to Babylon at 12:21 was operating 11 minutes late due to a track condition west of Babylon. Let's just quickly read this comment here, and then we'll see what it said. I can't read the oh, I know why, because so you gotta do it like this. This tweet makes no sense. I just witnessed this train pass Seaford 11 minutes late. How west of Babylon is this track condition? Is my eastbound going to be affected? Oh boy. Bet this was the same guy again. Let's see. I'm just curious. Exactly. The tweet doesn't make any sense. Because he was at the platform in Merrick, it seemed like. Late arrival connection from the Babylon train due into Patchogue. $11:18 train from Montauk to Jamaica at 2:15 was operating 12 minutes late. Nah, I'm not going to read that one. Okay, so I just want to quickly remind everybody that on the main line this weekend, unfortunately for John, yes, the cheese is coming back, it looks like. Buses are going to be replacing trains between Ronkonkoma and Hicksville to accommodate the weekend track work. This is where the Price is Right fail music comes in, but I don't have it on me right now. Maybe I can add it later on, but if I can, I apologize. But 4:34 from Penn to Babylon. So this was the problem that Matt was live with. 4:34 from Penn to Babylon at 5:39 was canceled. Take the 4:37 from Penn to Watoa at 5:27, and then it had to extend to Babylon to make all combined stops. Oh boy. And then look at this again, Port Washington. It's always with Port Washington lately. When are we ever going to get a break with Port Washington lately? The 4:43 train from Penn to Port Washington at 5:21 is canceled due to a disabled train in Penn. So what happened was one of the trains was stuck in one of the East River tunnels. And because of this, they had to cancel one train and had to accommodate another train 3 minutes later from Penn due into Great Neck at 5:23. This train had to be extended to Port Washington and had to make added stops at Manhasset and Plain Dome. telling you, we never get a break with Port Washington. We never do. And this is what upsets me, is that why in the world did... You know what? I almost said why in the world did Babylon? Because I'm so used to saying Ronkonkoma all the time, but actually, yeah, Babylon's where all the rude people are. I forgot. So, yeah, Babylon got do what was coming to them today. They really got coming to what's due to them today. So, again, I'm going to end the update by saying that I don't want any money between Hicksville and Ronkonkoma to forget about the train work. And you pull up this link, I might as well show you what will happen. This is a PDF link, and it gives you the schedule right here. It doesn't come up, I apologize, but it'll be a PDF file. It'll tell you when the train will not be there, and unfortunately when the cheese will be back with the school buses. So just keep in mind, if you're expecting any train service between Hicksville and Ronkonkoma, you may have to take the cheese, or you may have to get another accommodation for taking the Babylon branch this weekend, or the Port Washington this weekend, because it's looking like, again, people are getting screwed getting between Ronkonkoma and Hicksville due to this track work. So, yep, that's the update for today. I just wanted to quickly mention again, I'm using my screen recorder from my old Samsung Galaxy S3, so this is useful. I gotta admit that. And again, when I remove the benchmark, it'll definitely get the job done to look more professional. So, thank you all for watching today's update.